Hello, I'm Dic Bennett for the Omni Center for Peace, Justice, and Ecology. This is our weekly book sampler, Omni's book sampler. Today I want to tell you about several books by Christians critical of just war theory. I've always thought that the principles of the theory of just war which go way back to the 4th century, have been useful. That if we cannot ban war, we can perhaps reduce its ferocity in specific ways. And therefore, the many treaties, the Geneva Conventions have been useful. These 4 Christian writers, I'll mentioned today, do not agree. They feel that the just war theory, and it's sometimes 6 or 7, and I'll list 8 today, have been more harmful than helpful because nations have used them, or I should say abused them, to justify their wars. Our wars are just, say the nations, say all the nations. No nation has gone to war crying out, "This is an unjust war." Nay, they all claim they're righteous. The principles of just war are that it must be a last resort, have a just cause, have just ends, be limited in its objective, have just means, limited means, and non-combatant immunity, and finally have a reasonable chance of success. These writers are convinced that war itself is the crime and cannot be remedied. And 'tis true, we do not have the principles of just war codified in control of national behavior, certainly not for United States behavior. Thomas Terzina, I suppose he pronounces his name, believes wholeheartedly in a pacifism based upon the example of Jesus. His book entitled Blessed Are the Pacifists, the Beatitudes and Just War Theory, urge humanity, human beings, to eschew war, not to try to find just war remedies or excuses, as it turns out to be. A second book is by Richard McSorley, a Catholic, whose book, New Testament Basis of Peacemaking, is a similar argument that wars themselves have been the harm. I have time only to mention the titles of the other 2 books. Jesus and Nonviolence, A Third Way by Walter Wink, and A Faith Not Worth Fighting For, a better title would be A Faith Not Worth Killing For by Trip York and Justin Berenger. Thank you very much. This has been Dic Bennett for Omni's book sampler. I hope next week to tell you about books by Senator J. William Fulbright.